Welcome to the Traveling Zen Space. This is a yoga stretch sequence for stress relief. Grab any and all props that you may need today. Modify, skip any posture that does not work for your body. And remember, your body is the guru. Honor and listen to it. Take a moment, seated at the back of the mat in hero's pose, seated on your calves, or you can take an easy seated pose. We're going to come into a restorative child's pose variation. Melt the heart down on top of the thighs. Bring the head down onto a block or the mat, and bring the arms besides the legs, palms facing up. Sinking and melting into this grounding and calming restorative posture. You're going to bring the arms up overhead, palms face down, and take an inhale, round through the upper back. Send the hips forward and land in upward facing dog, chest forward, shoulders back. Take the whole exhale and send the hips back into child's pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, round through the upper back to land in upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. Breathe through the sequence a few more times, linking breath and movement. Come back to center on all fours, tabletop position, and just making some intuitive movements with the body, moving the spine back and forth, making circles with the hips. Just what does your body feel that it needs right now in this moment? You can also move into some large hip circles, just circling in one direction. And then taking the hip circles in the opposite direction. Come back to center and come to lie flat on the stomach. Keeping the hands by the low ribs, tuck the elbows in towards the body, heart forward, shoulders back. Come into cobra pose. Take an inhale, lift up, and then exhale, melt down. Inhale, sweep the chest up. Exhale to fold down. Breathe through this a few more times. Inhale to come up. Tuck the toes under, making sure to get the pinky toes. And we're going to come into a toe stretch. You keep the hands planted on the ground, just pushing the hips back. You also have the option to walk the hands back and to sit up on the heels. Breathing into the bottoms of the feet, undoing tightness and stickiness caused from cramming our feet into shoes. Breathing and softening the expression on the face. Come forward to release. You can tap the feet out. Plant the hands and tuck the toes under and send the hips back and up for downward facing dog. Keeping a nice generous bend in the knees, and you can start to pedal out and walk your dog. sending the chest back towards the upper thighs. And then you're going to inhale and walk the hands back towards your feet. We're going to come into ragdoll pose. You can take the feet out a little bit wider than the hips, depending on how your hamstrings and your lower back feels. And then you'll just fold forward, grabbing opposite elbows. Shake out the head, yes and no, making sure you're not holding any tension in the upper body. And just breathe and fold and melt forward. We're going to move into a forward fold flow. On your next inhale, bring the hands to the shins and come up to a flat back, heart forward. And then exhale, hinge from the hips, melt forward. Inhale, up into your flat back. Exhale, fold. Move through this flow a couple more times. On your next exhale, you'll walk the hands back forward out into your downward dog. Push the hips back. And then you're going to inhale and step the right foot forward to the outside of the right hand for lizard lunge. Drop the left knee down, untuck the left back toes. Right knee is in a 90-degree angle. Ankle is right under the knee, and the right toes in the right knee are facing the same direction. You can place blocks under the hands as you draw your shoulders back and away from the ears, and draw your heart forward, melting the hips down to the ground. On your next exhalation, send the hips back for half splits, flexing the right toes back, keeping a nice generous bend in the knee. Inhale to come forward into your lizard, tuck the left toes, and step back into your downward facing dog. We're going to move over to the left side. Step the left foot forward on the outside of the left hand. Place the right knee down and tuck the right toes. And take the same position you did on the right side, either placing blocks under the hands or bringing the hands to the ground. And keep a nice flat back. Take an exhale and send the hips back, moving into half splits, keeping a soft bend in the knee. Inhale to come forward and release. Step the foot back and step back into downward facing dog. Just feeling the difference in the back of the legs and the hips. Bring the knees down to the ground and come into your easy seated pose. Sitting up nice and tall. Draw your right ear to your right shoulder. Place the left fingertips on the ground across from your left hip, breathing into the left side of your neck. You can stay here or begin to draw an imaginary line with your chin down towards your right shoulder and up. You have the option to keep the chin tucked towards the right shoulder and grab the back of the head, just gently stretching out the neck a little bit longer, not pulling or tugging. And inhale and release, come back to center. Let's move over to the other side. Left ear towards the left shoulder, right fingertips on the ground. Drawing the right shoulder away from the ear and breathing into the right side of the neck. Beginning to move the chin up and down. Then the option to hold the chin down, and with the left hand just grabbing the back of the head gently. This offers a deeper stretch towards the back of the neck. And inhale to release. Come back to center and just roll out the shoulders. You're going to interlace your fingers and make a basket with the palms of the hands and place it at the back, the nape of the neck. With the chin towards the chest, you're just going to let the weight of the arms and gravity do its work here. No pulling or tugging. We're going to move into a little cat-cow flow here. You're going to inhale, send the elbows back, heart forward, and then exhale, round through the upper back, belly button towards your spine. Inhale, send the heart forward, and exhale, round. And move through this a few more times. Release here, and let's come into a shoulder stretch. Interlace the fingers behind the lower back. Pull the fists down and away from the body, sending the heart forward and the shoulders back and down. Keep the neck soft. Let's release here and move into a one-legged hamstring stretch. Keeping the left heel towards the body and towards the groin. And extend the right leg, flex the right toes gently towards the body, and fold forward. Breathing into the right hamstring and relaxing the left hip. Bring the upper body upright and turn your chest towards the right leg and fold forward. We're going to inhale, come back upright, switching the legs. Right heel comes in towards the groin. Extend the left leg long. Sitting up nice and tall. And then find an exhale and fold forward as far as you can. Knowing that with time you'll get down further, but right now we're just feeling a stretch. Not concerned about how far we get down. Inhale, come upright, turn the chest towards the left leg and fold forward again. Inhale to release. Taking the right leg out wide for a wide leg hamstring stretch. And you can keep the knees bent and soft if the hamstrings are particularly tight today. And you'll inhale to lengthen the spine and then exhale, fold forward as far as you can. This is a great pose to practice patience and surrender. It's great for your hips, your hamstrings, and your spine. Let's release and come to lie flat on our back. Take the feet a little bit wider than the hips, knees facing up, and let's move into some gentle spinal twists, dropping the knees over to the left. Take an inhale, bring them through center and drop them over to the right. Continue with this flow a few more times, stretching out the spine and lubricating the hips. Come back to center and draw both knees in towards the chest, taking a hold of either the back of the thigh or the shins, and you can stay still or rock from side to side. Grab the outer edges of the feet and bring the soles of the feet together, pushing the knees back away from the body. And you can hold it here or open up into happy baby pose, pulling down on the soles of the feet, drawing the knees towards the ground, plugging your shoulders down and away from the ears. You could also rock here or hold it in stillness, just listening to your body today. And if you want, you can incorporate a hamstring stretch, straightening out one leg and straightening out the other, just alternating. Taking your time and being gentle here. Release the legs down and let's prepare for Shavasana. You can take a traditional Shavasana or you can use props. I'm going to use a bolster and I'm going to place them under the knees. And this is going to allow the hips to release and relax down and also help the lower back to plug down to the ground. Take the arms out wide or overhead. Just prepare to lie in stillness for a few minutes and allow the legs to be heavy and the hips to soften. Let go of any controlled breathing. Relax the shoulders. Soften the back of the heart and breathe into the front of the heart. Relax the expression on your face and allow the muscles around the eyes to be soft and the corners of the eyes to melt towards the ears. Soften your forehead, soften the scalp. Take a long, deep breath in as you invite some gentle movements in the fingers and the toes. Gently bringing your body out of this deep relaxation. And come to lie on your side, preparing to sit up. Gently inhale and push into the ground, keeping the gaze soft, keeping the body soft. Just come to sit for a moment, observing the body, the mind, and extending gratitude to yourself for showing up for you today. Inhale and sweep the arms out, around, and up. The palms come to touch overhead, and bring the palms to come to rest at the forehead as a reminder that you are the master of your Zen. Palms come to rest at the lips as a reminder to communicate our truth with authenticity and kindness. Palms come to rest at the heart center as a reminder to know thyself and love thyself. Thank you for practicing with me. Peace and ease to you.